No, I don't want to say anything like that. What's it saying? My battery's low? How's my battery low? I don't know what's going on. Sorry, there's like garbage trucks happening on the street and the window's open. We're gonna just let this happen. And then we'll kind of proceed. Hey everybody, my name is Nicole. Welcome to the Pine Cottage. Today we're gonna talk about all the socks. Well, we're gonna talk about maybe like 5 of the socks. This isn't really counted in the 5. This is just a general statement about my vanilla sock recipe. And everybody has their idea of what is comfortable for them as far as just a plain vanilla sock. So mine is living in this little project bag that I made. And I showed you in another video the sweater bag that I made. And someone asked me for the pattern that I used to make these. This is the sock size bag, and it is a box bottom, which is why it's whatever. And then I have my lining. So this pattern, Nicole from Hue Loco had posted a video tutorial of how to make a project bag like this, and I just went off her video. She had at the time where you could download the pattern, like the sizing for like the template for how to cut the pieces out. And so when I first learned how to do a bag, that's what I did. And I cut out the template and I made this size, several of these sizes. And then I kind of just went from there and just experimented and trialed different bags, and some of them turned out and some of them didn't. And then eventually I got up to that sweater size, which I liked. It was a lot of trial and error. This pair of socks is living in this project bag. I talked about before in a previous video how I like to do my plain socks. I enjoy doing, my favorite is a 20 round cuff. Now, if you watched my other videos, you know that I'll do a 15 round cuff. Sometimes I'll do a 10 round cuff. And that's mostly because of time. If I'm under a time crunch for gift knitting, I will cut it back to a 15 round cuff. Or if I'm doing a pair of shorty socks, sometimes I'll do a 10 round cuff. So it's not because I like them better, it's just usually about time. My favorite and the one that I think looks the best is a 20 round. And so that's what I did on this pair here. This yarn is actually the yarn that I gave away in my first giveaway. This main color is Emerald Fields by Hue Loco, and then this is Ochre. And I think, I don't know if you can see those wonderful speckles, but I think they pair together very nicely. So anyway, as I said, I'm doing 20 rounds of the cuff, and then the leg, I think I like the best where it hits my leg is a 70 to a 75 round leg. If I'm gift knitting, I will do a 60 round leg. It's just because of time, because I'm generally gifting a lot at the same time. So if I have the time to spend and it's just my sock, a leisurely sock, I prefer a 75 round leg. And then I do a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And then I do 72 rounds of stockinette for the foot. And then I do a, I don't even know what you call it. Maybe someone can help me out what it's called, but I just decrease the toe until I get to my original stitch. I do 64 stitches. So I do 16 stitches for the front and the back. So 32 stitches. So I do half till I have half of the stitches on from 64. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? And then I Kitchener the toe. So if you're using DPNs like me, that means that you're going to have 8 stitches on each needle when you get to the end after all your decreases, and then Kitchener the toe. So that's my vanilla sock recipe. So every pattern that I talk about today, I am really not following all of the details of the pattern. Now, when you buy a sock pattern, you may want to do that. They may do a different heel. They might do a different stitch count. They might do a toe up. I like cuff down. I know what works for me. I am not someone who really has time or wants to get into the details of a pattern. Maybe someday I will, but now's not the time for me. So I'm pretty much going to stick to my 64 stitch count unless there's some issue with the pattern where I can't do that because of math, and then I will transition to their stitch count. But I will be doing a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset for all of these socks, and I will do them top down, all of them, and I will probably do a 20 round cuff. Please understand that I am not a rule follower when it comes to this stuff. Right now there are a couple cowls going on because it's summertime and socks are portable and easy to carry around and stick in your beach bag and work on in the car, on vacation, wherever. It's just an easy portable knit. Natalie from Love and Stitches, Knitty Natty, she is doing Sock Week, which she does every year. So it's 1 week where you are required to knit 1 sock to be part of the cowl, and she has some prizes and she has some merchandise. So that's happening. And then also Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady is doing her summer sock camp this year. And she does that every year. And I believe it's already started and it's going through August 31st. So as I've talked about before, I am not great at participating in cowls because I never finish, but I'm always knitting socks. So I figured this was a safe bet. If I just knit whatever I can knit, you know, I may, you know, submit them or post them with a hashtag on Instagram and just kind of leave it at that. But I wanted to share with you some of the patterns that I picked out to knit during the summer. I'm not making any promises. I don't know if I'm going to finish them all. This is just my plan, and we'll kind of just see where it goes. If I don't finish them by August 31st, that's okay because they will stay in my queue and I will finish them when I finish them. These are patterns that I have chosen to knit. I've purchased the patterns. I'm excited to knit them, and when it happens, it happens. Pattern number 1. Moving right along, this is the binder where I keep my patterns, and they are separated by garments, like sweaters, socks, shawls, accessories, whatever. So in my sock section, the first pattern that I have here is Summerly Design Co.'s The Daily Socks. A long time ago, I don't even know how long ago it was, I knit 1 shorty sock for my daughter. Maybe it was last year for her birthday. And I never finished the other sock because she tried on the first one and it was really too tight. So I think I used a smaller needle. I usually use 2 US needles, which I think is 2.75 millimeter. And I might have used a 1.5 or a 1, which I don't know why I would have done that. Maybe because her foot is, she was younger. She was 11, and she has a skinny little foot, and I thought, well, maybe that would fit her better, but it didn't. So again, I'm a tight knitter, so I should have went with the 2. So I might even go up to a 2.5 for this. But this is the first pattern, the Daily Socks, and I just love the design that it makes. And I'm going to post a picture up here. I just think that it's really simple and classic, and you can do it on, you know, variegated yarn, speckled yarn, tonal yarn. It just looks nice with all of them. So let me grab my little bucket because I have some yarn picked up. Homespun House, and this is in the colorway Fern. And for the heels, toes, and cuffs, I have some left over. This is also a Homespun House, and I don't remember the colorway, but I loved knitting with it. I made a pair of socks last year, maybe, and it was a pleasure to knit with. So that's what those 2 are going to look like together, and that's going to be the Daily Socks. I don't have a sample to show you of how that knits up, but it is a lovely pattern. It is a paid-for pattern, and I already owned it, and I have not knit a pair of socks with it, so I'm like, I need to do that. And that's just living in this little bag. This I found at Joann's, and it's just cute. Pattern number 2. Guys, I'm moving into some new and exciting things. if you recall, I have not conquered cables or color work. I've practiced color work, but I've yet to knit something with color work. And I'm going to knit the Taiga Socks. I think that's how you say it, Taiga. And this pattern is by Larkspur Knits. And it has beautiful little pine trees on the leg, and I just thought that that was perfect for the Pine Cottage. So this is going to be my first official color work project, and I'm very excited about it. I think that they are going to be perfect for fall, for winter, and I already had the yarn. A lot of this, I didn't buy anything new for these socks. I'm trying to just work through my stash, and I had the perfect color combination. These are knit top down, which is yay for me, and it calls for, well, I don't want to give away the pattern, but I'm going to do a 2x2 ribbed cuff. I prefer that over a 1x1 rib. So I am going to do that, and basically I am just going to not even read this pattern. Skip, 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 skip. And I am just going to go, I'm going to find whichever my size is, because she gives 4 sizes for this sock. I'm going to find the size that matches my foot best, and then I am just going to look at, she gives a chart. And I am just going to read the chart and do the color work, and the rest is just going to be my vanilla plain sock recipe. So I'm going to knit my cuff, I'm going to knit the chart, I'm going to do my slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, my regular foot, regular toe, and call it a day. The majority of this pattern is going to not even be looked at. I'm just going to find my size and follow the chart. It was worth paying for the pattern just to get the stitch pattern portion. I gotta fit this back in here. Give me a sec. This is living in this little Christmassy bag that I also got from Joann's, and I just thought that was sweet, and I just thought this was the perfect project to fit in it because it's kind of wintry. And if you remember, I purchased this from, what's it called? This is by Autumn and Indigo Fibers. This is Eco Sock Base. It's a non-superwash merino, 75% and 25% nylon, so it is a sock base. I purchased it from a fiber collective, and this colorway, I don't even know what it's called. I'm not going to use this mini. So the main color is going to be this creamy white. My cuff and my heel is going to be this colorway from Knotty Pine Fiber Co. And this is the colorway Gingerbread. And this is in her Hearth Socks base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So heels and cuffs, main color, and then the color work I'm going to do in this Knit Pick Stroll Aurora Heather, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. Can't wait. I cannot wait. So you guys, sorry I'm choking. Cross your fingers for me, say a little prayer. I think these are gonna turn out great, and I'm really excited to get started on them. But it's not gonna be for a while because I have a lot of projects that I'm working on right now. And you know, I'm not in a hurry about any of them. I had set goals for myself, and I'm just going to enjoy my knitting time. It's summer. It's leisure time. It's time where I could just relax and take it slow. I always like to take it slow when I can. If I'm not working, I'm taking it slow. So I don't even know why I made these plans for myself, because I never really follow them. But, you know, goals are good, I guess. So stay tuned, you know, when I'm working on them, I will give you my feedback on what I think. But I really think that if you're someone like me who struggled with socks for so long and then finally found what worked for you, it's okay to stick with what you know and to stick with what you're comfortable with and tweak things here and there. Why not just use the stitch pattern? Why not just use the chart for the portion that you need it for and ditch the rest of the pattern? There's no rules. There's no law. There's no law that says I have to follow the pattern exactly how it is. Pattern number 3 is this pattern, Wildflowers and Honeycomb. This is a beautiful, delicate pattern. with some yarn overs, and it's beautiful. And I just thought that this would go perfectly with the Felix pullover because it has that little yarn over detail on the raglan increases. And I think that they would just go together so cute. So I bought this pattern, and again, I'm gonna do my 2x2 rib cuff. I'm gonna follow the stitch pattern and do my regular heel, regular leg, regular foot, regular toe. And this yarn that I chose, I don't think I pulled the yarn out that I want to use. Hold on. I'm just gonna look in my drawer here and pick one right now. Which one would you guys choose? I'm thinking this one. Yeah, that's one. Okay, this is Woolberry Fiber Co. And this is in the colorway Sonora. I feel like this was part of their Arizona vibe thing. I purchased it a long time ago. So this is berry sock base, 80% superwash, 20% nylon. And I'm gonna take the little tag off here and just get a closer look at this beauty because it is just a beautiful tonal. It's like a ballet pink. And you know, there's two ballet pinks. There's like the pinkier ballet pink and then like the theater pink that's got like a brownish tone to it. And this is that. And that's my favorite, which is probably why I bought this. So this is going to be the Wildflowers and Honeycomb sock. I don't know what bag this is gonna live in. I gotta find one for it. I'm sure I have one somewhere. And I'm gonna do this no contrasting cuff, heels, or toes. This is gonna be on its own, baby, because it is just gorgeous, and I just want it to be light and delicate and sweet, and I think that'll be very nice. Pattern number 4. Pattern number 4 is the Follow Your Path pattern by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, and I did not print that out yet, but I will put a little picture up here. And for that sock, I'm going to do another tonal because I feel like sometimes when you use a speckle or variegated, the pattern gets lost, especially when it's kind of intricate like this one is. So this is living in this little project bag that I made. And this is one of my favorite bags that I made because the inside is like, whoo, surprise! It's so bright and friendly and cheerful. And I also like that the Follow Your Path socks are living in here because of the arrows. Like, follow your path. I know, I'm cheesy. Sorry. So for these socks, I chose Ash and Bumble, her field sock base, which is an 80 superwash merino, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And this is in the colorway Forest because I'm going to follow my path right to the forest. Guys, I told you I'm in a corny mood. My heels, no. My cuff, I might do it just cuff and toe for this one and do just the solid heel. I think I might do that. This, I don't know what the colorway is. This is just a little mini that I had in my stash. It was probably part of a sock set that I just took apart. Come on. And it's got, I don't know if you can see them on camera, but it does have little flecks of blue or green in it. Let me see if I can find one. Can you see them? Anyway, it does, I promise. So I think that these will be lovely together. So that's going to be the Follow Your Path. And again, I'm just using the pattern for the stitch pattern. Pattern number 5. Pattern number 5 is coming out of my 52 Weeks of Socks book by Lina. I purchased this quite a while ago and was very much intimidated by it. So, you know, if you don't own this book, I don't know if there's another way that you can get the patterns that are in here. That's something you're going to have to research, sorry. But if you do have this book and you want to knit along with me, please feel free. I'm choosing this because I haven't knit anything out of this book at all. And I've had this pattern picked out for a while, but It is cables, and I am finally going to try my hand at cables. So this is the Intersections sock. It's so pretty. I don't know which I like better, the sock in this picture or that rug. I love me a good, beautiful area rug. I can't wait to have hard floors in this house. Gotta get this carpet out of here. Anyway, interior decorating is not what this is about. So the Intersections sock is my 5th pattern that I want to talk about today. And it is a cable knit pattern. And it is beautiful. And it looks like it is a 2x2 in this picture. I'm not going to read the pattern. God forbid I read the pattern. It is... This is a toe-up design. I'm not doing a toe-up design. I will not do it. I will not. Sam, I am. I am doing cuff down. Team cuff down! Woo! Let me see about the stitches here. Cast on. I have to change the math a little bit for my cast on. And I'm going to use larger needles for this because I've heard, since I've never done it before, that you should use a larger needle if you're doing cables and color work because it tends to be a little bit, you knit a little bit tighter. Is that how it goes? So I usually use a US 2, so I'm going to use a US 2.5. And I did purchase Addy something where the one needle is shorter and the one needle is longer, and they're just a 9-inch circular, but they're not like the short little needles. So I will show you in a future video. So this is going to be my sock number 5, and I'm just going to use their cast on count, and I'm going to use their chart for the cables. So wish me luck with the Intersection sock. Okay, so that is 5 patterns, which is what I promised you, but I have 2 bonus patterns. They are free patterns. They are amazing. They are easy to follow. They are squishy and awesome. And I'm going to show them to you right now. So the first one you've probably seen before because I feel like everybody has seen it. But if you haven't, here it is. And I've shown it before on this channel. You know, where are we? Pine Cottage. So this is another bag that I made, you know, a long time ago when I was in my let's make all the project bags phase. And I don't like it as much because there's no canvas here, so it's just all loosey-goosey. So if you like loosey-goosey bags, then, you know, try that out. This also, you know, was something that I was experimenting with the size. So you can see it's not a square, it's a rectangle. So trial and error. So this I used Ash and Bumble sock base and Sagebrush is the main colorway. And then the top is just the yarn that I had in my stash. So this is the Hermione's Everyday sock pattern. And it's beautiful. Just beautiful. There's a reason that everybody has knit this pattern. So I will link it below if you are interested, and this is bonus sock pattern number 1 that you should knit this summer. Bonus sock pattern number 2 that you should knit this summer is by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, and this is her Austin sock pattern. And this is on Patton's Croy sock yarn, which tends to be a little bit like a heavy fingering. It's a little bit, it's not quite a DK, I don't feel like, but it's thicker than a fingering weight. But for socks, it holds up so well. I have a couple pairs of socks that I knit in this, and they just wash up so nicely. And it's just squishy, so squishy. And anyway, this is Patton's Croy sock yarn in the colorway Seashells. And this is the Austin sock pattern. So cute. So if you're, you know, comparing the two and you're like, oh, I just have time for one. I don't know which one I want to do. Let me hold them up side by side so you can see the difference in the pattern. The Hermione's Everyday pattern is a little bit denser as far as, you know, an all over pattern, and then the Austin sock is like occasional. So those are 2 patterns that are free, that are beautiful, wonderful, go knit them. And those are my 2 bonus patterns. My Austin socks are living in this little summer sock camp bag that I purchased from Kay's shop. And it's just the perfect size to fit the pattern, a pencil, and the socks, the yarn, and just... I didn't show you. The intersection sock yarn that I'm using is also Patton's Croy, and this is in the colorway Flex. And this is the same yarn that they recommend in the pattern. And I just happen to have it in my stash, so that is living in another bag that I made. You know, so that's that. You guys, I'm all over the place today. A little bit wonky today. We're going to do something fun because my husband and I are both home. Yesterday was his birthday and he took today off, and we're gonna take the kids somewhere. It's a beautiful sunny day, and maybe that's why I'm just happy. I have the day off with my family and we're excited about it. We're gonna knit some socks, and you know, you're gonna do it on your time frame. And if it so happens that you finish them for these cows, then, you know, put your little hashtags on there. I can't wait to see them on Instagram. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great day. My speaking skills need work. I will see you at the end of the month. Bye. Socks! Get to work! Get busy! Let's go!